everyone, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Safe Pest Sol, your trusted spot for pest control tips. And today, we've got a buzzing topic. No, not mosquitoes. Today we're talking about bumblebees. While these guys are great for pollination, they can sometimes become a nuisance or even a danger when they decide to make your yard or home their home. Now, bumblebees are typically harmless and crucial to our ecosystem, but if you have a nest near your door or garden, it can get a little tricky. So, we're going to dive into how to safely get rid of them without harming these important insects. And today, I've got not just Chris, but also Natasha, an expert in outdoor pest control, to help guide us through this. Welcome back, Chris, and a warm welcome to Natasha. It's so great to have both of you here today.
Thanks for having me again, Rachel. Always a pleasure to chat about how to manage backyard pests.
Hi, Rachel. Excited to be here. Bumblebees are awesome, but they definitely need to be handled carefully when they get too close to our homes. Happy to help out today.
Awesome. So let's get started. First things first, let's talk about why bumblebees are so attracted to our yards in the first place. What makes our homes and gardens so appealing to them?
Bumblebees are attracted to areas where they can find flowers and food sources. They love gardens with a variety of flowers, especially ones that provide nectar like lavender, sunflowers, or clover. They also look for safe places to build nests. If your yard has sheltered spots like under a porch or in a pile of leaves, it's prime real estate for them.
Exactly, Chris. Bumblebees are social insects, and they tend to build their nests in places that are protected from wind and rain. So, places like attics, sheds, or even under the eaves of your home can become hotspots.
So, essentially, our beautiful gardens and our homes can look like ideal real estate for them?
Exactly. And while they're mostly harmless, it's still important to manage where they build their nests, especially if they're too close to high traffic areas or places where people frequently walk.
So, at what point should we consider getting rid of bumblebees? Is there a right time to do it?
The best time to address a bumblebee nest is when it's still small. Bumblebee colonies only live for a single season, and by fall, the colony naturally dies off. If you notice a nest near your entrance, or in an area where people frequently pass by, it's important to act before the colony becomes too large.
That's right. You don't want to wait until the colony has grown too much. But bumblebees are usually pretty laid back, and they'll only get aggressive if they feel threatened. So, the key is to approach them when they're still manageable.
All right, so we know we need to be careful. What's the safest way to remove bumblebees without harming them?
The first thing you need to do is avoid squashing them or disturbing them too much. Bumblebees are naturally non-aggressive, but disturbing their nest can trigger a defensive reaction. It's best to call a professional pest control service if the nest is in a tricky or dangerous spot.
Yes, and if you want to try it yourself, wear protective clothing, long sleeves, gloves, and a hat. At night or early in the morning, when the bees are less active, use a bucket or container to gently scoop the nest and move it away from your home.
That's a great tip, moving them without causing harm to them or yourself. What about non-lethal methods?
You can also try using natural repellents, like citronella or peppermint oil. Bees don't like these scents, so spraying a diluted mixture around their nest can encourage them to leave. But again, make sure you're gentle when handling the nest.
Now, how do we make sure they don't come back after we've removed them?
Great question. The key is sealing potential entry points. After removing the nest, check your home for cracks or gaps, especially around windows, doors, and vents. Seal any openings where bumblebees might try to enter next season.
You can also keep your yard a little less inviting by reducing flowering plants near entrances. If bumblebees can't find their food sources near your home, they're less likely to come back.
So, reducing flowers and sealing entryways should keep your home safe. Are there any natural ways to prevent future infestations?
Absolutely. In addition to the repellents we mentioned earlier, consider planting bee repellent plants like eucalyptus, citronella, and even garlic. Bees tend to avoid these plants, which can help protect your yard.
So as much as we want to get rid of them in our yards, it's also important to remember that bumblebees are great for the environment. Chris, Natasha, tell us a little about why bumblebees are so important.
Absolutely. Bumblebees are essential for pollinating many of the plants we rely on, like fruits, vegetables, and flowers. Without them, we'd have a much harder time growing crops.
They're actually one of the best pollinators because of their size, and their ability to pollinate larger, harder-to-reach flowers. So while they can be a nuisance near the home, they're a vital part of our ecosystem.
That's true. I love that we can manage the situation without harming them. It's all about finding that balance. Now, if all else fails and the nest is really hard to reach, when should we call in a professional?
If the nest is in a difficult location, like in the walls of your home, or if you're unsure how to handle it, it's best to call a professional pest control service. They can safely relocate the nest and ensure it's done without harm.
Definitely safety first for you and the bees.
Thanks so much for all the fantastic advice today, Chris and Natasha. I'm feeling much more confident about handling bumblebees in my yard.
Anytime, Rachel. I hope everyone out there can enjoy their gardens without worrying about bees.
Exactly. With the right steps, bumblebees can coexist with us safely.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, comment below with your experiences with bumblebees, and subscribe for more tips. See you next time on Safe Pest Sol. Also visit our site, safepestsol.com.